Okay. Ooh, the photo. Lieutenant Kitsuragi snapped this photo of the hanged man's tattoos. It displays the intricate web of blue lines stretching across his torso. You have to admit it looks quite cool. Okay, so
An intricate web of blue lines it almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory. But not quite.
What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Who are you?
Gone.
Okay. That's that. Let's see. Okay, a lot of tasks. Right, so what's the armor? Another number on the victim's armor. Get a briefing from Kim. Tattoos. Okay. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to level up my endurance, just so nothing bad happens to me. Right. Oh, we need to ask Cuno about the armour.
Fuck does Cuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. Discuss the body with you again, Cuno.
The fuck about it?
Where's the rest of his armour?
Cuno doesn't give a shit about the armour.
How come?
Cuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Cuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Cuno threw that shit away.
What do you mean you threw it away?
Cuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kick-off on the imaginary helmet.
Cuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Cuno.
You threw it in the sea.
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Cuno.
He repeats.
Cuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Cuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
Who do you mean, troubadour?
Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Curious, my liege. Why did Cuno feed you this information?
And you're just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Cuno?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Cuno Day. Cuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
I'm being pitied by Cuno. Jesus.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
Why is Drama calling me sire?
You're testing Kuno's patience here. Get lost,
Okay, I'm off. Leaves.
Cuno doesn't fucking care.
Hooray, Cuno. Right. Things first, let's stop by the car and run that armour.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Could you run a serial number from a pair of armoured boots for me?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50 100 1000. The make and model of the armour is Fairweather T500 VE.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
I'm done with the radio for now. End call.
57th, over and out.
A voice disappears into the void.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Okay. Right, we got that done. So... Right, that is... Badge... Right, need to make some money. Ooh, is that a bag? I can use that to collect bottles. Woohoo. Yellow plastic bag. Equip this to collect... equipped. Haha. Equip this to collect tar. This plastic bag has "Fleet" sick written on it in a dynamic, forceful manner that implies great prices. As you crack open, the multi gust of air flies in your face. It smells of yeast and beer. The perfect place for tear. Okay, that means we have a hook. Spatter of bullet holes lines the wall. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I hear the distant squall of seabirds. The ad reads, broken window? Tibbs has windows. Oh, does he now? That's helpful.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer. Pat it.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Leave. Okay, so there's a shop there. Selling books. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Capeside Apartments. Blues on Clay, ran back north. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Scandal.
Hey! Up here, Piggo! The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
Kim's gonna fight back.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside.
A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expressionism.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
Ah, but she nods disdainfully towards the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier.
Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
Looks a bit like Margaret Thatcher. Ah!
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershaw. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein.
Wrinkles
Go
her nose.
forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Maybe she has my gun.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, a thing. Oh, hold on, that's not opening. Aha! Pry bar! Pry bar, why are you not helping me? Pry bar, you have failed me. Maybe I just need chain cutters. Chain cutters! Will you assist me? The chain cutters have not assisted me. This is annoying. Fine, I'll just keep the bag then, in case I find any more bottles. Inside, the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Okay, let's go talk to this wacky lady. Ooh, there's a thing there. What does that say? Looks like there was more construction here. Once. Decades ago. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
She steps closer and holds her hand over the railing.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame.
He opens his
My
notebook.
colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Oh, thank you, Kim.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
Oh boy.
How interesting.
She turns to you unfazed.
I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing.
She points
See
to the
those
small dots
airships
on the
there,
horizon.
blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo tribes?
Saint-Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
He does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Easterlers 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
I mean, it probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on.
She takes a sip and looks you over
Certainly
afresh.
it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners,
She gives you a small
who are
smile.
responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Oh, you don't keep it moving. The workers do. The company is nothing without them,
We built this district.
she says calmly.
There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plaza's meteor and mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter.
She takes a sip.
I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything.
She
Right up
smells.
to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this, precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organisation now.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes,
Thanks.
in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
The lieutenant looks up from his notes.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Mañana means tomorrow in Spanish.
This checks out.
My Duolingo is paying off.
No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She poses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Oh, okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Say nothing.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
The lieutenant says succinctly.
Refreshingly honest, officer.
She nods.
The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Ooh, I prefer not to have an opinion on these things.
Of course, officer.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
He falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves.
The
I am
lieutenant hands her a
Lieutenant
piece of blue
Kitsurak
plastic.
from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see.
She looks increasingly worried.
So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
She sighs with confusion. Sadness, even.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
How do I negotiate my way out of this?
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you.
Which
If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam. Leave.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
So we're henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
Let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
So, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate? Move on.
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still,
She raises a bony finger.
every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
She looks north.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike's being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Okay. I've been on my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
We'll take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields.
Excellent.
It's lungs of tea.
According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Do you know anything about these tattoos? Show her the photo.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
Oh, what nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yes, so...
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze precedes you, your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
But what is this feeling? I've never felt it before.
Shame? You haven't really been in the presence of gentlefolk either, have you? What shame is there to be felt in front of these dock workers, cops, and hotel clerks, but to belittle yourself in these eyes of Odinil?
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Say it. Can I have some money?
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does is surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one, not the first three. Those are ape speak.
I am the scum of the earth.
My. Why'd you say that?
I'm gunk.
That's garbage. You're a police officer.
No, I'm not. I'm gunk.
Shall we talk about something else, maybe?
This is kind. If anything, she's a little confused. Thank you. That's all for now.
Of
Leave.
course, Detective. Take care.
What the actual fuck? Oh, man. Right, okay. Never mind then. I couldn't just ask her for money. Shame. Okay, let's scrounge. There's something in here. Does here have some money?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked.
Knock?
The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response.
Knock again?
The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
This is the police. Open the door.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
The hallway echoes with her cackle. I'm not joking.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
She trails off, leaving the sentence unfinished.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Leave. Ah, damn it.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Okay. Low conceptualization. Why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Leave. Okay. Oh, no. Some pallet there. Oh, there's money. And some magnesium to help my morale. Aha! I've got you now, my pretty.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
She hisses. Yes, I am. I'm smarter than you. Ryan Gosling hanging out up there. That's nice of him. Is there something in there? Ooh, orange bum hat. Some reaction speed minus on rhetoric. Ooh, health. Can't reach that. What's that? Another spattering of bullet holes on this wall. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. These barrels are half full of rainwater. Oh, no, there's something inside there. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Garden hose. This won't be of use.
So much for a quiet smoke.
Balcony with view to the yard. And the hanging.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
That's Chris Brooks. Why is Chris Brooks watching us? Does he want us to join CCK?
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
He says in a quiet voice. Despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
No trouble from me. I just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really need to talk to you?
Is it really that important?
He asks you, adjusting his shirt.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you? Look at Kim.
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something down.
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He looks around the courtyard again. Old patio chairs and dead houseplants litter the scene.
He's an actor, declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word?
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend. How intriguing.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
All right, we'll talk later.
No. We won't.
He takes one last drag of his cigarette before stubbing it out on the balcony.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Can't convince him to stay.
This isn't a place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains?
Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes, compassion, and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the rail.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He walks away. Ooh. Okay.
He's gone.
The lieutenant puts away his notebook and turns to you. We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
You're right. He probably didn't have anything important to say anyway.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
The lieutenant nods towards a small rock on a soggy piece of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Great. Let's do that.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Speed gives blonde sigh. Okay. There's a lot of different thoughts. An orange beanie with a couple of big ass holes on the side. Looks like it might be used as a mask during an armed robbery. Bum brain. Speak like Chester A. Bum. You got any change? Okay, let's see what this stone says.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it.
Turn it over.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments and the man can be in any of them.
How are we going to find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Well, we have a key, so that's nice.